All right, here we go, Andy. You're not Jason. You're Andy. We have a special guest tonight, Andy Anderson. He's filling in. His knowledge of Supercross is minimal. So is that's safe to say, right, Andy?
I have no knowledge. Well, the only races I've ever been to are with you, so you know my limited knowledge of
We we
Supercross.
we took Andy. That's been a couple years. What, 2 years ago, maybe three already. But Chicagoland Speedway, we went and saw buddy Travis Moeller racing them snowcross. So
Yeah,
kind of,
we get that pit pass,
oh yeah, we were in on the pit pass action
hanging out in the trailer. Good times.
like rock stars. So it's a little different, That's snowmobile. We talk a little dirt bike action. So
I've been into a couple of uh I don't know, dirt tracks in Rockford, Illinois a couple times. So I've been to a couple races.
and we went to the arena cross at the Bradley
Yeah.
Center too. So you
Yeah, so I've been to a couple, I guess, a handful.
he's not completely green when it comes to the dirt bikes. So
I remember the whoops.
that's see, you're good.
Yeah.
We can do a
All
full
right.
we can do a full moto podcast. So yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't know how much we'll actually touch on the races, so you're, it might be kind of fun doing a little, just kind of a chill podcast, and that's Andy. You can't see the graphic right now, but it's Talkin Moto, and then it's Chillin with Wrestling Andy.
Ooh, all right.
So, and then I borrowed that logo off your website, thewrestlingandy.com, with the kind of the beard and pro wrestler
Nice.
beardsman.
Nice, nice.
So, and I'm really bad about this, so we're gonna try to plug this right off the bat. So, and Andy, I think you got this or you had this. Got the Amazon banner, so people making their purchases, if they wanna go talkinmoto.com and click on the Amazon banner, and we get a small, and the less people use it, the smaller the slice that we get, but it's still there. So people are already ordering stuff through Amazon. So go check that out. Social media, you can find us at Talkin' Moto on Twitter. Instagram is at Talkin' Moto Podcast. Facebook is just search Talkin' Moto. And yeah, to find the podcast, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and we're finding a new home right here on the old Twitch TV. So it's twitch.tv/Talkin' Moto. And all this good stuff you can find at the website talkinmoto.com.
Oh man, you are everywhere.
Ah, I need, we started this last week, and uh, I had a couple Coors Lights through the podcast, and I'm a lightweight, and I had two of the tall boys of the Coors Lights last week, so
Oh no.
that was it's pretty good. I had a good time doing the podcast. I had to pee like a sob by the end, but it was a good time. So I guess what happened tonight is I was kind of running a little late, but I only brought one beer down, and I sat down and I go to message Jason like, "Hey, I'm running a few minutes late," and he was like, "Ah, shoot." He goes, "Sorry, dude. I completely forgot. I'm not gonna be home until like after 11." I'm like, "Ah, shoot." And I'm like, "Ah, whatever." So I was gonna try to do just kind of like a solo mission, and see if I could, because I got my little cheat sheet of info that I want to talk about, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I can hit record and rant. If it's 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes. If it's 45, it's 45." And then that's kind of when me and Andy were messaging back and forth. So I was like, "Shoot, you wanna try doing a podcast tonight?" And So here we are. That's
And we've been talking about maybe doing a little something here in the last few days since I got the new studio here at high atop Anderson Towers, aka my basement.
but it's but it's pretty sweet.
It's getting there, man. It's pretty cool. I've been uh I've been finding free scraps here and there, and it's really coming together. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Heck
It used to be like a junk room of workout equipment that never got used. So now it's a I don't know, podcast live stream studio. So it's pretty awesome.
I am pretty jealous, and hopefully, I don't know. We're kind of searching, I guess, or we're not dead set on finding a place, but we're kind of got the feelers out there looking for places. So it would be nice to get something set up. Like you, I like the green screen you got going on,
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
I have a makeshift one, but there's just no room. I got no room, and it's such a pain. So
Yeah, and I tell you, I have like just enough stuff in this room. Like I'm pretty much at capacity, but I managed to get the computer, the monitors, some lights. I got the backdrops and little soundproofing going on. I got a guest table now, a guest couch, and got some extra mics and stuff. So, but I'm pretty much at capacity. I don't think I could fit any more in this room.
time to expand.
It's all we need. But if I ever had to do it over, like I would, like say if we ever like built a new house or something, I'd like make sure the studio was like the first thing, and make sure that soundproofed and built from scratch. It was so hard to convert this, basically, this room into a studio because I have the ceiling above me, like a drop ceiling, so you hear, you heard everything from upstairs. I could hear my dog snoring right above me. I have like so many obstacles. I have furnace venting running above me. I have the furnace on the other side of the wall, an open closet, water softener, a bathroom behind me on the other side. So there's like so many challenges. But I just did the best I could, and I'm pretty happy with it. Just got a little soundproof insulation and some wall paneling and stuff, and I think it does the job.
Nope. I think you got one hell of a setup rolling, so I think you're off to a pretty damn good start. Uh well shoot. What I'm gonna kind of skim over my little list, even though this isn't so much up your alley with racing.
All right.
But I have a real, I don't know. Okay, let me just start over. You know what X Games is, right? Or at least heard of it.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yep, I'm familiar with X Games.
So, and I go on this rant every year about this time because last weekend was X Games out in Colorado or wherever. I don't even know where they're at. And I think my post last year was, "Am I too old for X Games?" And I guess the reason that I say that is, or maybe it's the fact I don't watch that much TV anymore, or this is where I think maybe I'm too old and I'm not watching what all the kids are watching because I don't see any commercials for X Games. Um, Honestly, the only reason that I knew it was on were people that I follow on Twitter that were heading out there and they were posting about it. Otherwise, I would have probably never known it was even on.
Yeah, now that you mention that, I think the only thing that I've seen so far, mention of like X Games is probably like whatever any of the people have shared, like maybe on Facebook, or like I follow like like MTV feed or something like that, or I might have seen a commercial here and there on MTV when I actually am watching. I might turn it on here and there,
Yep.
but yeah, no, I guess I didn't really know when it was either.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't get it. Like, is that? I guess if it's working, if they're doing all right, whatever they're doing or who they're targeting marketing wise, it must be working. I just must be the guy with the foot out the door, I guess. But
Well, to me, I mean, like I watch different things now, right? So like my interests have changed. I used to watch. I remember when I was younger, like I MTV all the time. I was like tuned into that whole thing. Um, but like my TV habits have changed, and I watch different shows, and I think like X Games is kind of like younger generation. Like they have like I think they have like some like older people, right? Still, but um like it's mostly younger generation.
oh, I got a little worked up this weekend when I was watching it. They they have the snowcross. So the same guys that we went and saw um, in Chicago, where
Hmm.
some of the guys were out there, right? And it's the the track was it was shit. Um, it was pretty much an oval, and I don't know how. I mean, it's not. I don't think they. It's. I think it's all invite only is how you get out there.
Was it like yellow snowcross?
It should have been yellow. That's how cool it was. And it was the laps were 20 seconds long. All it was, you take off the start, you go down, you make a right hand corner, you go up the hill, you make a left, you come down the hill, you make a right, and then you pass where you come onto the track. That's all it was.
Oh man.
And like I'm like, what is this? Like usually at X Games it's just like bigger jumps, and so I don't know if it was just in a spot that they couldn't, fit it. I don't know. And like I said, it's invite only, or I'm pretty sure it is. And there was 8 guys in your heat race, and they take the top 4 from each heat, and that's your 8 rider, like 30 lap main, and that's it. So
Hmm.
the guy that I think he qualified first or second, he had a decent start, went into the first corner, got bumped, tipped over, and that was it. He couldn't rebound to get going again or to catch back up, because by the time he got his sled picked up and got back on it and started going, he was already almost a lap down.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like that's what I like noticed like when I'd go to some of those races, like everybody could point out a guy and be like, "Oh, this guy's pretty good. He's probably gonna win," and like you kind of know like going into it who's the favorite dude. But then all it takes is like one wipeout, and it's like you're cheering for some other guy, you know,
Well,
like
that's
just like that.
that's kind of funny that you brought that up. Um, this is well, the race this last weekend was round 4, and rounds 1 and 2. I don't know if you've even heard of these guys, but Ken Roxon is his name. He's kind of been pretty good the last few races, and then kind of some of the Monster Cup, which was in October. He did pretty good at that until he flipped over the handlebars in one of his races. But up
Oh
until that
man.
point, he was kicking everyone's ass. Um, but anyway, at round 3, he didn't get the greatest to start, and he's kind of working his way through. I believe he was in third place at the time, and he was going through a rhythm section, and he kind of got bucked, flipped over the handlebars, or bailed off the front of the bike, and he dislocated his wrist, dislocated his elbow, and then did a compound fracture of like the radius in your lower arm.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean, just like that, you it's just
Was
like
it his J hand?
I don't know, man.
Oh, how horrible.
We could,
Having to go having to go stranger for like months possibly.
you know what? I never thought of that.
Ouch. That's rough.
But but I mean, it just, in a split second, and now he's he's out for the year, and I don't know if he'll even be ready for time outdoors start in May. So,
We got a rehab.
oh, dude, you go on Twitter and do a search for Ken Roxon. He's been posting everything on his social media, and he has one where they must I don't know if they he pretty much has an opening from like his wrist to his elbow. I don't know, cuz I don't know what they all had done or what. I think one of the holes is obviously the compound part, but yeah, he's already had a couple surgeries getting them all paired or repaired, and so
Oh man.
pretty gnarly. So yeah, he's out, and um, now everyone kind of cashed in that Ryan Dungey is going to be the guy to beat now. And this last weekend, round 4, he ended up getting third. And a guy in the press conference asked him a question, or not Dungey, but the other two guys. And are you guys like jacked up that, or did it fire you up seeing, now that Roxon's out, you know, you guys got a chance, pretty much, is kind of, the way I took it. And, they got, Dungey got pretty fired up over it, because I guess I applaud the person for saying that, because everyone's thinking it, right? Maybe everyone doesn't have the balls to say it. This guy said it, and they kind of, he's kind of getting the brunt of it a little bit. But like, everyone is
Sure.
picking him now to win. But that's dirt bike. So
Oh man. I got to
what?
check out some of these photos here.
I got you interested now.
Pulling it up right now.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then this weekend they had another guy. Actually, we're starting to think that there's a Talkin Moto curse. Um, a few of the pro riders that we've had on the show have um, uh, haven't done so well recently. So uh, Tyler Bowers, he was on the show a couple years ago. He crashed in the rhythm section, ended up breaking his femur, and then while he's crashing his bike, one of the Minnesota guys is, he's not right behind him, but he's in the rhythm lane with him. So this guy crashes in front of him. He really doesn't have anywhere to go, and then I think he ends up running into the guy's bike, and so he was out for the weekend. So I don't know
Oh
if
man.
it's
Oh
sick.
yeah, this photo of his injury is sick.
Yeah.
Man. Whew.
Shit ain't no joke, yo.
Ain't no joke.
Ugh.
Nice. So where do you watch where are these races like broadcasted now? Is it just Fox Sports 1?
I think 90% of them are on Fox Sports 1. Uh,
Okay.
this, this, yeah, I don't know. The TV, it's awesome. You can watch all the races pretty much live, I believe, all year. Uh, so the first 4 have all been on FS1. This weekend they're racing in Oakland, and that one is going to be on FS2. But
Okay.
it's also going to be on during the day. Um, like normally, the Anaheim, you know, they always start at like 7, 7 local time, so 9 o'clock for us. This one is now starting at 6 o'clock for us, so they're at like a 4 o'clock start for them. So I don't know if that's just the TV. I get a little bent out of shape, and you're probably gonna get me worked up here, Andy, because I maybe I don't get it, and that's the problem. I think it's great you can watch all the races live, and like this last weekend, and they've been doing this. I don't know if they've been doing this the whole year. I just noticed it 2 weeks ago, but so for the 250 guys, they have their heat races, and then after their heat race, they have an LCQ, and then there's their main event, right? Well, the 450s, the bigger bikes, they have heat races, they had semis, they have an LCQ, then it's their main event. So they've switched it up. It always used to be off of laps. Your heat race was say 6 laps, right? So it could just be a monsoon weather, something, mud, whatever, and you might only get, well, I don't want to say you'd only get 5 laps. They might shorten it if it was super muddy, but you would race 6 laps regardless. Well, what they've done now is changed it so everything's timed. So your heat races are, I don't know what it is, 6 minutes plus 1 lap. So you could do 2 laps in that time frame if, say, the conditions were that bad.
Okay.
So everything's kind of timed out. But this last weekend, like, they're on the TV broadcast and they're like, yeah, we got bikes out warming up for or out warming up, and it's like, no, they're not warming up. That's the 250 LCQ that you fuckers aren't showing, and they're not showing it because they're talking about Danica Patrick and her boyfriend are NASCAR people, and they're getting ready, and there's this whole Fox in NASCAR and jerking each other off, and it's just like I get like the sponsor plugs and stuff, but like why can't they you know
Like you just
take
want to see all the races.
I want to see the races, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like I'm trying to visually show you what I'm thinking. Like take your TV, right? And scale back the background and show the races, and then put a little pop-up in the corner with Danica and or whoever. It's not NASCAR that I'm like I hate the segment. Like I'm not hating on Danica or whoever, but like have it where I can still watch the race and
Yeah, maybe like maybe like offer like a second screen experience on the like on iPad or something, right? Where it's just the race.
like I just they do all these there's the show starts off really good. You got your heat races, and then kind of the middle toward the end before the mains, the TV package right now I feel is just horse shit.
See,
And
and like those races you're talking about that they're not gonna show on the channel, like that's something that they could easily just live stream the whole thing on like or like on not Periscope, but like Twitter, right? So like just how like they were airing like football games on Twitter,
mhm.
they could do that with like the races if anybody wanted to watch them.
Yeah, and or maybe they could be like, "Hey guys, our guys have been recording and shooting camera all day. They're out eating a hot dog." I'd be like, "All right, I get it." Cuz right now I think they're I would assume that they're still recording it, you know.
Or
I
here's that here's that race on Facebook Live, right? something like that, where you're just watching the feed.
Yeah, I
I mean,
just
that'd be kind of cool.
it's just like, and the other part that gets me a little fired up is, you know, some guys, like, that might be the only time they're ever going to get up on the podium, is that else, like, the last chance qualifier. Like, they won that baby. They win that, they'll probably get 15th in the main, you know. But, like,
And at that time, the monster can's full.
yeah,
You know.
but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think they could, it's like maybe they could take something from NASCAR, because NASCAR does this. Like, they call it NASCAR nonstop or something like that, and they take the TV and it gets either cut in half, or in, like, three-fourths is the race. You can still see what's going on, and then over here they're playing their commercial. Like, I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think that's what they should do. But it makes it tough for me to watch, I guess. Maybe someone that is new to, like, the sport, it's not so bad. But it's kind of the old, like, what is it, rinse and repeat. It's like the same thing over and over and over, and, like, nothing, to me, nothing is changing. But
Well, I'm gonna have to check out a race now to see this live. So now that I have Fox Sports 1 and 2 on Sling TV, because I just signed up for that today, I can. It says I can check those out, and I can on demand it if I want. So
yeah, I think you can on demand it for, what, a week or two after it airs.
something I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'll have to look into that.
you'll have to let me know how that streams, because like we were talking before, we were thinking of dumping the cable. This shit's a little ridiculous on the cost.
Yeah, I um literally just signed up tonight for the Sling TV because I want to try it out. And I had it on for a little bit. I was watching Monday Night Raw live, right? And it didn't cut out once. Like I had no problems with it, you know. It worked really good. And then I was showing Katie, and we watched a couple other channels, switched between a few other channels, and I mean, it was working great. Didn't have any problems. We could even rewind a show if you wanted. If you like missed something, you could go all the way back and start over. Um, if you paused it and then hit play, it would just jump to live TV,
Hmm.
to wherever it was live, so you'd miss that. But you could rewind it and then rewatch. But it was working really good, and I have mostly all the channels. I mean, there's only a couple that I got like their I don't know. It's like they have it by like they have a intro package where they call it the orange single stream package, so you just have one stream at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have their for $5 more you can get a blue 3 stream package, so you can have multiple people streaming TV at the same time, and then you got like a ton more channels.
Right.
So then you got your like Fox Sports ones and like USA, um, Bravo, and then you also got your Fox and NBC. Like I think it's local. I have to see if it's for me what's considered local, but there's supposed to be some type of a local channel on there. So I'll have to check that out. But I mean, so far it's kind of cool. And then it has like I like to watch Walking Dead, so it has AMC. It has that on there, and then it has a History Channel because I've been watching Vikings. I've been getting into that, but you don't have to watch those live because those you can go back 3 days after it aired and rewatch it if you want. So that's kind of cool.
They got
So you get
Skinamax and all that on there too.
you can add it. It said you can add those things like to your account if you want. You can add HBO yeah, HBO Cinemax, Stars Encore for like an extra 10 bucks, 10 15 bucks, something like that, depending on I think HBO is the most expensive one. But yeah, yeah, there's extras you can add.
I want to say that's where we were at like 40, I thought is what we figured it was going to be. I don't know what we
That's
were.
every yeah, they have a plan that's like everything. So they have like an everything plan. Because some of the channels like they have this intro plan that's like really good. That's like but it's limited as to the channels, but it's kind of a lot of the popular ones. And
Okay,
then they have like the next plan is more, or you can get both plans together, so you get like everything.
cool.
And yeah, I mean it's kind of nice. I mean, basically you could go through here and like pick and choose what you wanted, you know, and like kind of make your own TV plan if you wanted to.
Um, but see, now you got to have a. You upgraded your internet as well, right?
So yeah, so the problem I was having, so because I wanted to do a lot of live streaming from the studio, so I needed better upload speed, right? I didn't so much need the faster download speed, but I needed better upload speed. So in order to do that, because I have Spectrum, Charter Spectrum, um, I had to get a business account, and what I didn't know was they gave me two accounts. So I had a personal like resident account with that I had my residential internet and cable TV on in that package deal, and then I had my Spectrum business account that had the high speed internet for business, and then they added a phone line. Like I actually have an actual phone line again in my house, because that just made it like way cheaper. And I thought they were saying that I could keep the TV and with the new business internet, and then by adding a phone line to have all three, that I was getting like this huge discount. And come to find out, the only discount is because I added the phone, and the TV would actually go up in price because I didn't have that on because it was on a separate account, and I didn't have that packaged anymore because I didn't need that home internet. So I was like, oh no, thanks. So I got rid of the TV. That I had like the DVR and not an extravagant TV package, but middle of the road TV package with a DVR. But that's still way more than like Sling.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I have way faster internet now and it's more reliable. So, I should be able to stream more now. So
Boom.
I shouldn't have any problems. So far so good. I mean, it's only day one, but so far it's I think the only limitations are, probably like my wireless routers would be the problem, but I've been getting really good download speeds, so and I haven't had any problems with the upload speeds since I got it. I've only had it for about a week, but it's been pretty good. And the customer support's way better. Um, I call and they answer, and I get what I need right away. So I get the answers I want, and you're supposed to have like priority. And it came with some extras too. With being on like the business account, it came with like some extra like, you can set up business email accounts and some kind of cloud back. I still got to look into some cloud backup storage and so even it said web hosting, but I can't imagine what that even is.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see.
Yeah, because I know we went to Best Buy and we were kind of looking at it, and um, I think the modem that we have right now is either Time Warner. We're renting it. I think is what it
Right.
shakes
Yep.
down to. So, but I mean, if you're looking at a modem, there's you know cheap modems, then there's expensive modems, right?
Oh yeah. So now I'm supposed to have like they gave me a new modem, but it's like supposed to be some like business quality modem. It's supposed to be like way, handle more.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be way better. But then once you start, even like when you start looking at like wireless routers, I saw one. I don't know what this thing does, but I saw a $500 wireless router that said it was for online gaming and 4K video, and it was like just this beast of a router, and it was like $500, and I'm like, wow, would that really make everything just better? Because it would be able to process more and handle more, and I was almost like, starting to look into it. Now I'm seeing like they're talking about these new kinds of routers that you plug in several throughout your house and have like a mesh network and stuff. And
Oh
then
yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of good reviews about those. That they just like you plug them in and they just work.
Well, that's because that's what I asked the guy. Because I said right now, I said our router is in the basement, and my
Yeah.
concern, what I told Amber is like, if we go this route, like I'm a, well, I'm a believer kind of in the, you get what you pay for. So you buy the cheapest router out there, like, yeah, it might work great, but probably not, right?
Well, the problem is when you start adding these new technologies and new devices, and then it can't keep up with the faster speeds of like what you actually need or what you want to do with it, or like if you're gaming and stuff. Um, it just has to be able to process it all
Well,
and handle
that's
multiple things. And plus, you're fighting your neighbor's Wi-Fi connections and stuff too.
right.
That doesn't help either.
Well, because he said something like, he's like, do you know how big, your house is? And I says, I don't know. But he's like, usually you take like the square footage of your house and you divide that in half. And that's like, the number, model number or whatever is what you should get. If that makes, so if
Hmm.
2400 divide that, it's like model 1200 or whatever that number is what they were saying for us. But I'm like, I'd rather get a
Except you want a beast, man. You want to do more.
well, that's what I told Amber. Like, I'd rather spend a little extra money and get maybe
Yeah.
one that is a little more powerful than what you know, like if he's saying cut that in half and that's like the minimum that you need, it's like, yeah, we're gonna, I mean, how frustrating would it be to, you come home from work, you just want to relax, watch a little TV, and, it's cutting in and out, or, you know, you're upstairs winding down, you want to watch TV and you can't because, the modem's in the basement, and, you
Hey, you
know,
just want it to work, yeah.
yeah, I just
Like
want shit to work.
yeah, so like if I'm gonna buy a new router, like if I'm gonna go that route and get a new one, I'm gonna get I want the best one, right? That's gonna handle like everything that I want to do.
Right.
And at least eliminate some possibilities of it, pausing out on things or cutting in and out. Like I want like maximum coverage as best as I can get throughout the house.
Yeah.
But like currently, I have my routers in the basement. So currently, I have a an Apple Airport Extreme router in my basement as my main router, and just on its own, I can get coverage upstairs, and it does work. And I've gotten actually just as good, the promised download speed, or even better than what I should be getting if it's plugged directly in, like as it's plugged in with an Ethernet cable. But then I went above that, and I put a second. I got a deal on a second Airport Extreme router, and it was like a refurbished one. I got a really good deal on it, so I put it upstairs, and I have it as a repeater, right? So it's kind of like an extension of the one downstairs.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know if that's helping, if that's improving or not. I have it in a wireless bridge mode, and everything I've seen suggests plugging it directly into the other one with an Ethernet cable. So I think I might actually buy a really long Ethernet cable and try it just to see,
Mm.
just to see if it makes any difference. But I didn't know if they're too close together, if one's actually extending that signal or if one's drowning out the other one. But I have a lot of activity in my neighborhood. So you can get like a network scanner, like a program to scan the different networks in your neighborhood, and it'll show you like who's struggling against who and what channel you should be on, your router should be on, in order to get the best signal and reception. And you'd be surprised. Like once you start looking, like everybody's got a wireless router out there. Like I have a bunch of them right in my neighborhood, like my neighbors and routers. So they all kind of fight with each other, you know. So that could cause slowness and slower speeds too. So I don't know. You just gotta try to get the best you can get, and I guess hope that it works. But there could be several factors, you know. Even we were having even last night. Internet speed was perfectly fine. Hulu was having problems,
Mm.
you know. So Hulu kept pausing out, you know. And like the internet speed is like full speed. Everything's running great. Everything's, you know, here it's the network that we were trying to play a video off of. So I mean anything can happen, you know.
Yeah, too. That makes it tough too when it's
You
everything
just
on
want to,
your end's good, but it's something else that.
yeah. So I mean the best you could do is try to eliminate possibilities on your end as best as you can, right? So you try to get the best stuff and the best coverage.
Well, that's kind of we run into that every once in a while, like with this Discord app deal. It's like sometimes you'll just like I think it's been a while since I've had any issues, but you could be going and all of a sudden you sound like a freaking robot, so.
Sure.
Some.
Yeah, and yeah, even shows that we've done, you know, live video chats and show, you know, like our show, our wrestling show we do. Um, you know, it's you're all dependent on, you know, the guy's connection on the other end, right? And
Hmm.
like his audio setup and his, you know, the noise in his background and like you can only make your own the best you can make it, and
Right.
you just have to deal with what everybody else has going on.
Quit stealing the McDonald's Wi-Fi, you cheap bastards. But oh heck.
Do they have that? Can you game at a McDonald's? Do they offer high speed?
Be like, you guys want to, juice it up a little bit? Oh, I must be getting sick. No.
There's something going around. Everybody's been sick.
Ugh.
It's either congestion or flu or cough. Like it's been crazy. Like the last like I want to say 2 or 3 weeks now. Like everybody's been. I was sick for like a week and a half. It's been horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Just tonight after I got home, I started coughing. So now I'm on a coughing attack.
Yeah, mine wouldn't go away, man. I had it for a while. It was horrible.
Well, what else? You hit up that WordPress camp on Friday.
I did. I went to WordCamp Waukesha, and well, we've been to a WordPress camp. We went to WordCamp Milwaukee.
Yep.
This last year, and so this was kind of like the first WordCamp of 2017. So this was actually their first WordCamp in Waukesha, and I guess they plan on doing another one next year. I think they already got a date set already, but
So
it was pretty cool.
are they not doing that Milwaukee one, or is this kind of
No,
like
I think they're still doing the Milwaukee stuff, but I think this is another group. So
okay?
they decided to do a Waukesha, but this one was just a 1 day during the week, whereas the Milwaukee one was like Saturday, Sunday. Um, but no, it was awesome. They had some vendors there. I got a bunch of stickers. I got you a sticker care package.
Nice.
I got some. there were a couple vendors there that had some T-shirts. I got a little swag, you know, and I learned a lot. Like I got to learn a lot about a lot of security tips. There's a little bit of everything there. It wasn't all just WordPress, but there's a lot of marketing tips and social media and a lot of security um, tips and stuff for web hosting and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a pretty fun day.
Speaking of kind of the social media side of things, sometimes like I think I only say this because I've actually had to like I've started to unfollow people.
You
Call
have to.
I'm turning into a dick as I'm getting older and I'm just turning into a grumpy man. I don't know.
Well, but I mean, are you unfollowing but still staying friends? You just don't want to see stuff in your timeline, or
Here's
are you going full block?
no no here, here's my thing is I used to follow everybody, right? And if you follow this person and they also follow the same people, right? It's like now
Okay,
I'm seeing the same shit 3 or 4 times, you
sure.
know? And then they post it and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bet you they're going to take that and it's going to get reposted under their account, right?" And it's just like I can't do that. Like I hate I hate seeing things so many times. And like the other thing is, if you follow people on Facebook, you follow people on Twitter, you follow them on Instagram, right? And it's like they post it on one, it gets posted to all of them,
Yep,
right?
sure.
So then it's just like I saw this on Facebook, like I don't really care to see it cluttering up my Instagram. Does that make me sound like just a dick?
No, I don't think so. Because I see. I friended up. I'm friends with a lot of people, like in the wrestling scene, right? But I don't necessarily care for like the stuff that they share, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to, like I'll talk like there are people that I'll talk to if I see them, or they might send me a private message here and there, but I don't care for some of the content they share.
Right.
So I actually went through my timeline, and when I see stuff, or even brands that like, I don't want to see, like I don't want to see stuff, I'll actually just unfollow. Like so you still or like hide
Right.
them from your timeline. So like you're still following them if you want to go back and actually type in their page name to see what they've been posting. But I've gone through and I've really weeded a lot of stuff out, and I got it down to just kind of the stuff I want to see or from the people that I want to see updates from. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot more enjoyable now. And even like Twitter's the same way. I won't look at my home feed, and I'll put people in. I'll make my own lists. So like when I use Twitter, I go to the list. So I say I want to see like tech stuff, right? I want to see tech
Mm.
news. So I have a tech news list, or I have a CrossFit list, or I have a wrestling list, or podcasts or whatever. So or comedy. So I just see like I pick and choose what I want to see basically, and I find it to be a lot more enjoyable that way. Um, just because it's not as like cluttered, and you don't have all these crazy opinions flying around. And like sometimes these people will share like I've seen a lot of people that I follow just share the most bizarre like fake news stories,
Mm.
and it's like I'm thinking like you guys really clicked on that. Like it's blatantly false. Like it doesn't even look like a trusted website, and they'll be sharing it, or they invite you to play some weird game on Facebook, or it's always something crazy. But I find like just weed out the ones you don't want to see in your timeline, and you're good to go. And I don't think that makes you a horrible person. Not at all.
What about and I get this maybe I'm partial to the Twitter whores. Like I don't mind them. Like let them hang out. But the Instagram whores, like I get them a lot when I post. I post the podcast, right? And I don't know why it's Instagram or what, but I'll get, you know, hey, for whatever webcam, click here, and I'm like,
Well, you got to stop putting hashtag whore in your post.
but I need some clicks. We need some likes. All right, I'll remove the hashtag girl on girl, and but
That's the when you use those hashtags, that's the audience you're gonna attract.
but when it comes to Instagram, like I'll see those, I'll be like, huh, that's pretty funny, and then like I report all of those, like on the Twitter side, I don't know what the difference between the Twitter.
I
Uh,
appreciate the fake follow on Twitter. Some of them are actually kind of creative and funny. I don't mind those. I might not follow them back, but I appreciate the follow.
oh man, so
A
but
like's a like, right?
yeah, I guess you're right there.
I don't care what they do with their accounts. A like's a like.
I don't care what I had to do to get that like. It's a like. Ugh. Oh, the other thing, I'm actually, I'm glad it got canceled. I didn't realize it until today that it got canceled. But remember Ryan Sahanic doing the wheelie on ice?
Yeah. Oh, what? He canceled that?
It got canceled. Yeah. Yep.
Really? Why? Did they say why? Because that wasn't supposed to be for a little while yet.
Oh, it was this last weekend. It was.
Was it? I thought it was in February.
I think it was February last year, but it
Oh.
got it got moved.
Was
Or
it just too warm out or something?
I'm guessing it was something to do with like the ice conditions. So maybe since it was cold and then it got so warm and then whatever it's starting to get cold again. But
Well, like last weekend, it was they were telling people not to go on the ice. It
yeah,
was a little scary out there.
I heard someone fell through it in Lake Geneva and didn't make it out.
Yeah. So like you drive over that way and it's seriously, it looks like something you wouldn't even go out and walk on, right? You'll
Hmm.
see like a nice layer of water on the top, or you'll see some like little waves at the shore, and there'll be one guy by himself walking out in the middle of the lake, to his shanty. And I'm like, why wouldn't you go with someone else? Why do you got to go by yourself? Sometimes they go at night,
Hmm.
like that's scary to me. That's just kind of like, why risk it, at that point?
We went.
Wear like some floaties,
We went.
just in case.
I had Martin Luther King Day off from work, so it was kind of one of those days that we knew we weren't working, so it was like, all right, let's go fishing. So, but that was a day that it was pretty warm, and it was actually raining. Like when I got up to go to the
Oh
lake, it was sleeting on the way to the lake,
my
and then
goodness.
we kind of got all set up, and yeah, it was a steady rain, you know. But yeah, we were out there. But
Well, do you remember like last year? They always do this in Lake Geneva. They always do this um, like ice sculpting competition
mhm.
or snow sculpting, and they actually had a bunch of people. It was so funny. They they made their own parking lot and they were just gonna park on the edge of the lake,
Mhm.
and like all their cars fell through.
Uh,
Like 20 cars were in Lake Geneva. It was so funny.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would drive. Well, there's two reasons. Actually, there's one major reason why I won't drive out on the lake, and that's just simply because I don't think I could get my car over like either the ice heave that's at the dock to get
Sure.
on and
Right, right,
off.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well, the last time we went to the wheelie on ice, it was remember there was like right when you walked on, there was like a huge crack in the ice, but there was like a huge hole
yeah,
of like the water. Like I was super nervous. Or when you walk out and you can kind of hear it crack and like
yep.
it's just it's it makes me so nervous. I have a hard time even walking out there, even though I see like everyone's out there having a good time and they got like trucks doing donies on the ice and stuff. Like I'm still jerky about it, you know.
I wish I could have captured the audio. I went. It's been a couple weeks ago already now, but I was in my little portable and I'm sitting. I had all the windows closed up so I can't see out, but you can hear a truck driving out onto the lake, and so I don't know how far they were from me, but yeah, you could just hear the ice just like.
Oh, I would have been gone. No way. There's no way. I wouldn't have stayed. I've been like, later, Scott. I gotta go.
I'll fish from the shore.
Yeah, right. I'll just cast in from here.
But dude, I get so excited and it's what keeps me up at night. Um, I really want to get a different portable fish house, and like guys are seriously tricking them out, and I want to kind of get on that bandwagon. So I don't, because when you get the right equipment and the space, it's so nice. And I don't know what it is about ice. Like when I go fishing, like I'm not thinking about anything else other than fishing, you know? Like be having a
Well, people have like heaters and like TVs and stuff in there, right?
oh yeah, I mean you can
Like,
get completely out of hand, but
so like, but you're like still like you're toasty warm and
yeah.
it's good to go. It's like you're not just sitting out there on a block of ice freezing the whole time.
Well, see, like the one I want to get is it. They call it a flip over. So it's like a sled pretty much, and it
So you get to
has.
flip it over and use it as a flotation device if you have to.
Yeah, if you fall through, just like lean back, you should hopefully float. But
Sends up an emergency flare automatically.
but you pull the tub out, and then it's got a couple chairs on there or seats, and you can get ones that don't move or ones that swivel. It's pretty endless, and then
Some
the
recliners.
yeah, the the canopy kind of it all flips up and over you, and then so your feet and all that are on the ice, right? But
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, people trick out the inside with their lights, because it's nice when it's all dark in the shanty, so then you can see down into the water. So, but but yeah, we'll have to get you out yet. Might have fun.
Oh man. Might have to do a podcast from the shanty.
Yeah, we could. But see, then that's like mine. The one I have now is more of a picture, like taking a briefcase and then open it all the way up so it's flat. So you get two people in there. It gets a little cozy. So that's where like these flip over ones have a lot more. You got room behind you to put all your gear, and then you get the heater out, so it's you still got like your overalls on or whatever, but it's nice. You can take your winter jacket off and just kind of be comfortable out there. So I just think you get stuff like that and makes it easier and enjoyable to be outside. So plus it's nice just to get your ass outside. But
Nice.
what else we got?
Oh, dude. Well, just the other day. So I actually have your DVD copy of the movie Slapshot. I didn't know if you knew that, but that appeared at my house over the weekend.
in a while. Have you seen it?
I've seen it a long time ago, but I guess my my father-in-law borrowed it from you guys
Oh,
and was watching it. So I have the copy if you're looking for it.
I think my roommate a long, long, long time ago we watched it, and I don't even know if I remember watching the whole thing. I thought it was kind of stupid, but Amber and I watched it not too long ago. But yeah, it's all right.
So
Oh,
what else is going on? I don't know. Not much. I'm just wrestling every weekend still in Woodstock.
we'll have to get. It's been a while. I'll have to get back down there.
It's been getting pretty crazy. I'm in a new I'm a bad guy now, right? So I'm in a new faction called the Dirty Boys Club.
You're with Ronnie Metro.
Yeah, and Big Chase Gosling. So we are the Dirty Boys Club, and the fans have been getting pretty crazy down there. It's been getting pretty wild. Like I'd say the last like 4 or 5 weeks, it's been pretty nuts. So
Do you get to say like you're the Dirty Boys Club from Chicago, or no?
no, we're just from all over. Like I'm from Wisconsin, Chase is from Milwaukee area, Ronnie's from Illinois, but everybody knows who the Dirty Boys Club is. And I'll tell you what, man, those fans say some of the craziest stuff. You know, it's just, I mean, they're saying, you can only imagine. They say horrible stuff. You can see the videos on YouTube. But and you're like, I get it. Like some of the adults like say stuff, but kids even, man, some of the worst stuff is like the kids are repeating. It's just ridiculous. Sometimes I'm just like, what? Couldn't even believe they said that.
Just slap them.
But it's a fun time. We do our bad guy thing, and we're there every week. So I'm pretty much there every Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a good time. And then I've been doing still doing CrossFit. So I've been trying to get that in during the week. That's going pretty good. I'm just happy to get through the workouts. You know, they're pretty intense, um but I'm able to do it. So I'm feeling a lot better, and I can tell when I'm in the ring that I'm doing a lot better. I feel a lot better, overall in the ring. So I
Cool.
know it's helping.
Cool.
So yeah, just keeping at it.
Oh,
Got to
that's
keep up with all the other guys in wrestling are like in their 20s. I got to try to keep up.
slap them around. What was like? Oh, that's why I mentioned Ryan's thing getting canceled. So they moved it, but I couldn't have gone anyway because I participated in a 9-pin bowling little tournament.
Oh, that's when it was supposed to be?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was last Saturday.
Oh, see, I could have swore the original date was in February. I didn't realize. I didn't even realize it.
I wonder.
Sorry, Ryan. But for doing that, for what they're doing, the conditions have to be perfect
Right.
in order to do that stuff. So I don't blame them for canceling it one bit because it wasn't good last weekend.
Yeah, so yeah, they had it set for January 28th, and then now it's set for February 25th.
Okay, so they are gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Still planning it.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yep.
cool.
Um. So yeah, we went bowling on Saturday, and it was, yeah, yeah.
Did they put the bumpers up or no?
They should have really. So it's a 9-pin. So if people don't know, your first ball, if you get 9 pins down, it counts as a strike. So I never. It's like I bowl every. I think I've bowled every year since we've been out here, and like every year I'm like, why do I bowl in this damn thing? Like, I'm not good enough to win. I just I seem I seem to bowl worse than I normally bowl, and because you'd think with the 9 pin that you would be able to get a better score, right?
Do you get a handicap or
I
no?
I do get a handicap. Yeah, I've bowled enough, or with my other league I'm in, I've actually got a handicap, and that's what kind of pissed me off when I first started bowling in it is I didn't have an average.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have an average, you have to take the men's average, which is like 185,
Mm,
which is I'm not a 185 bowler. So, but
sure.
yeah, I did have a little bit of a handicap this last weekend. So, but I guess that being said, my first game I bowled a 123, which is pretty shitty. To, for
That's probably better than what I could bowl right now. I
Yeah,
haven't bowled in like I don't bowl enough, and I haven't bowled in years.
like that's I I said to Larry, I was at like 2 frames to go. I go, I think I'm just gonna like throw it in the gutter on purpose just to try to score under 100. I haven't done that in a long time. He just kind of laughed. But
I mean, there's people that they practice every day.
yeah.
Like they're bowling every day, and I think that's a lot of it is just repetition, and like so when I was in high school, I actually worked at a bowling alley, for a few years as I was I guess technically a pin setter
Mhm.
is what they were called. So like I was behind the lanes in the back, and then when people were bowling in their leagues and the machines jammed up, I'd get a ring back in the back room, and then I'd have to go to that lane, shut the machine off, clear the pins would jam, and when they cycled through the machines, or some pins would knock over. So I'd have to clear the jam, reset up, if they needed like the 5, 7, 10 pin reset up or whatever,
Yep.
and then clear the jam, and then like turn the machine back on. And I did that for years. It was actually a pretty sweet little job, and I got to clean the lanes and all that stuff. Everything at the bowling alley, like I got to do. So, but one of the caveats of working at a bowling alley is when you're done working or on your off days, you can come and bowl as much as you want for free.
Nice.
So pretty much after work, everybody would just hang out and like, you maybe bowl 7, 10 games, right?
Mhm.
Well, you start doing that like every other day, you like start getting pretty good at it,
Yep.
after a while. And then they went so far as like, oh, they'll get you your own ball, you can get your own custom ball, and they'll drill it, and you get all the gear. Like I think I still have my bowling ball here somewhere. I still have a custom ball with like the fingertip, inserts in it and whatever. I think I had a glove, like a wrist glove or something, right? And but you learn how to throw the ball and get curve on it, you get rotation, and you learn where to stand. But I think most of it's just mental, um, because like I know I'd get frustrated and I couldn't bowl, for crap. Like, but the more you practice, the better you get at it. And I'd see guys, younger guys that like would come every day, man. They must have bowled like 15, 20 games. And then they get into these tournaments. And I knew this one guy that bowled a few 300 games
Yep.
like one year just because I mean, this guy practiced like crazy. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, that's what I get. Like I bowl on a Tuesday league, and the guys are it's I think pretty competitive, and it's just like sometimes I just sit there and I watch these guys, and it's just like they throw it and they hit the pocket every time, just boom, 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 and like I'm standing up there some days, I'm like, I wish I could just throw the ball twice the same way. So
Yeah, now I'm happy to just get like a strike once in a while.
oh, that's just it. Like with that, back to the 9 pin, it's just I never take advantage of the 9 pin. So I bowled. My first game was really bad. Like I said, like a 123. My second game, I bowled a 231.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and with that 231, I had 2 9 pins in that. Otherwise, all my other strikes came like a natural strike.
Oh
You know,
wow.
so it was kind of funny. Like I kept track because I knew going in like I hardly ever get 9. So the first game I had 1 9 pin. The second game, my high game, I had 2. The third game I had 3, and the fourth game I had 4 9 pins. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's good to get out and have a beer or two and shoot the
You
shit.
ever you ever you ever accidentally throw the ball in someone else's lane or like drop it behind you? I've
I
done that. I've done that a few times.
I have had it where uh, the guys when I release the ball, sometimes I would actually drop it before I get to the line.
Sure.
And oh yeah, guys got all pissed off because now there's oil from my ball on the lane, and they're gonna hit it and fall and this and that. But yeah,
I
so
love I love the guys that are like constantly like toweling off their ball and they get the little like rosin bag going and
like
oh
I don't
I love that. I
that
love that stuff.
that part don't bother me. There's a couple guys that, and I'm not a huge like germ freak, but when I see people at a bowling alley lick their fingers, that
Ah,
hey,
what? And then bowl?
no. I'm not done yet. So like tongues like 2 or 3 of his fingers, lifts up his shoe, wipes it on the heel of his shoe, and then licks his fingers again. Like
What?
like
For what? For
what do you
what
do?
purpose?
Maybe just the water gives him a little grip, maybe doesn't want it to slide. I don't know. But I'm like, that's fucking weird, dude. Like, why are you doing that?
What a
But
weirdo.
but uh but yeah, you got to be careful because on our Tuesday league, and it's kind of fun. So we play quarters, and so you get there, you automatically you put $1 into the kitty, and that'll make sense here in a minute. So you put $1 in the kitty, and
Why
then
is it called a kitty?
maybe it's because like a small pool, maybe
Oh,
small,
okay, I got you.
Hey,
Like a kiddie pool?
there you go, there you go.
Okay. All right, all right.
And then it costs you a quarter for cards and a quarter for strikes. So then everyone puts in a quarter, so you got a buck, a whopping buck and a quarter sitting there. So if you bowl the ninth strike, you win $1. Okay. So the more strikes people get, the more you pay your quarter. And then if you get a strike or a spare, you grab a card, and then the best hand at the end of the game wins that other buck and a quarter or buck, right? Following?
Okay.
So then the bastards, we do this other thing, and this is where the kitty part comes in. So say your first ball, you rifle that thing into the gutter. Well, that costs you $1.
Oh man.
If everyone in a
Do they do they
frame,
take do they take Bitcoin?
yeah, some nights it's like I don't have any more money to give you guys. So if everyone in the frame, like say the fourth frame, everyone gets a strike but you, they call that getting hung. So that too costs you $1. So
Oh man.
yeah, it's like you guys, I'm here to have a good time, not get my ass kicked.
Yeah, you just want a bowl.
But it was funny last week. I it doesn't bother me, and it's in good spirits too. And the nice thing is, like, all that money that goes into the kitty, it kind of gets divided out at the end of the year. So, kind of the more people pay in, you're gonna get a little bit of it back. So it's kind of nice at the end of the year.
Okay.
But um, last week, whatever, second frame, we'll say, I got hung. Put my dollar in. Second frame, I got hung again. Or third frame, I got hung. So you only can get hung twice in one game. So I would have been out or done there. But then there's kind of an unlimited hanging if everybody gets a strike. So the first two, I didn't get a strike. But then, like, the next frame or the frame after that, I got a strike. Well, so did everybody else. So it's like, I bowl shitty, I have to pay in. I finally bowl good, you fuckers make me pay again. So, but like I said, that all kind of gets tossed into the little kiddie pool, and it's fun. So, but
Oh man.
we play with a good group of guys, so it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I was like a substitute on a league for a while. And then it kind of turned out that I was just substituting every week. But they'd have similar kinds of things going on. Um and it was a good time, but man, was I glad when that commitment was over. Because it just seemed to go on and on and on.
Uh oh. Did we lose Andy?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I heard you saying on and on and on, and then it kind of cut out. I thought I lost you.
No, I'm here. But that's what I'm saying though. Like it would just go on. It seemed like felt like it went on forever. Like the league never ends.
Yeah, it was long. It was uh I think our league is like 32 or 35 weeks long, I think.
Oh man.
Because I think we went to Mexico again in September, the beginning of September, and that was like the first week of, we missed the first week since we were on vacation. So the 1st of September or first Tuesday in September, and I think it goes until either the end of April or the end of May, somewhere in there.
Oh man, so when you were gone they must have used a substitute.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it was kind of the same way. I went from subbing to, and I'll bowl. It's just like practice, man. I'll throw as many as I can. I need all the help I can get. So the more I can bowl, the you'd hope it would work, but I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. Gets me out of the house, and I enjoy it.
That's
But
all that matters.
all right, dude. It's getting late. I gotta get my ass to bed.
All right, I hear you. All right, well thanks for having me on the Moto.
Yeah, a return. We had you on before. Did we have you and Chad or just you?
Chad and I were both on. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know, something different to see what happened with Jason. But yeah, we should be back next week. And yeah, you wanna tell people hopefully where they can find you, and we'll get links up in
All
the
right.
description.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can find me on either wrestlingandy.com, at wrestlingandy on Twitter, or you can check out our podcast at ompradio.com or at ompradio on Twitter and OMP Radio or Open Mic Podcast on Facebook. And
Now
that's where we're at.
now I feel like a really big dick. We didn't even talk about your podcast.
Ah, we can save it for another time. but that's okay.
This was a pretty last minute, really last minute adventure tonight. So I thank you for coming on. You could have just been like,
Oh, no problem.
be like, be like, screw this guy. Like, I know you had mentioned to it before, but it literally like when I was messaging you, I had Audacity like queued up. Like, I'm maybe I'll just kind of go on a little half hour rant of my own, and then
Oh man.
yeah, and then you're like, I gotta eat and do some stuff. I'll hit you up in a little bit, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just kind of chill then.
No, I'm glad we got to because then I got to check out this Discord program and see how that works. It's pretty cool. I kind of want to find some ways to use that myself. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, I always enjoy chatting with you guys.
Good times, good times. All right, dude. Well, I'm gonna pull the plug, as we say, at the end of our podcast. So we'll
All
we'll be
right.
back next week. And all right, later, guys.
All right, later.